Welcome to the Offsite Dirt Network. We're looking here at high performance build. That's right. My name is Mark Willie, and you've probably seen a couple of videos we did on the island of Grand Manan with the wonderful team of Big Dog Construction. I'm joined here today with the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend from British Columbia, Shaun St-Amour, and of course, Aaron Jones. Gentlemen,
Here we go. So we're going to take a deeper dive into the works of what's happening in with Aaron's crew, Big Dog Construction, showing off how they build with all the proper control layers, making sure they got sweaters and all the fun stuff. So, Aaron, what do you got to show us today?
My name is Aaron Jones. I'm a carpenter and a builder on Grand Manan Island, New Brunswick, Canada. And we are in, I think, video number 3 of our monopore. And this is something new for us. ICF construction is not new. We've been doing it for a long, long time. But monopore, it's a new step for us, possibly the evolution of ICF construction. And well, you know what? Let's just dig in, folks. Let's find out what's actually going on here. All right, here we go. So as you can see, we've progressed quite a bit from where we were last time. And batter boards are still up. We've got a few courses up. We're pretty darn close to level. And you can start to see that some of our bracing system is going in. That is a Zont from Fabform Industries. And what's beautiful about this system is every stick that you see going into the bracing here is going to move up when we're done with ICF and concrete and is going to become part of the wood frame wall assembly that we're not going to talk about yet. So there's very, very little waste here as far as wood framing goes. What can't be used as a stud or a plate will go into blocking for panel edges because this is a seismic zone and that is required. Right here, I'm talking about the 12-inch rebar mat that is going in. Back to the bracing system. As you can see, we've got a couple whalers, and I'm using the cam lock on the Zont right now to actually pull that tight and push the whaler in against the ICF, which, if you cull your lumber, also pulls that wall nice and straight.
Nice.
I don't know
We're
whether it's the
about
power of video, Aaron, but it seemed those cam locks with the 2x4 rigging was a simple push of the hand. Again, you called the lumber, and you weren't dealing with hockey sticks, if you will, but it seemed quite easy. That's a great
it's
view, but
it's not hard. There were a couple that were a little harder than others, and that does 100% equate to what piece of lumber you're using. But overall, we were pretty darn fussy for two reasons. One, we wanted things to be nice and straight and plumb. And two, we knew that if we used it as bracing, it was going to be, out in all kinds of weather and possibly start to move around a little bit. So if you start with a straight stick, expose it to Mother Nature, it should remain relatively straight. I've got more on the bracing system here. I've got a Zuckel going on to a 2x4. I'm just going to pause for a second here. I'm not sure why Fabform Industries decided to name all of their bracing systems with Z's, but it's like they decided to have a bit of Dr. Seuss fun. And it is quite fun because you have Zonts, Zuckels, and Zats, and that is their
Love it.
bracing system.
Aaron, there's a quote I use a lot, and you guys have heard it. And it goes, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. So, as much as they're making our life easier and more enjoyable, the power of language is also echoing that, right? Because they're giving us a vocabulary that's fitting just to them. We all know the great team over there and what wonderful leaders they are for our industry. So I think it's indicative of their path to be able to call out those names. And we'll have to make sure the editors have the proper spellings because this is going to be a fun little lower thirds for people to watch.
I'm just going to pause it here for a moment because
Yeah, please do.
this is a key moment. Yes, first you can see the X, but behind the X, this is really important. Behind the X, you can see that the Fastfoot is about to be tied up to the ICF. So again, folks, no footing is in place right now. We are about to tie the footing bag to the ICF. Now, currently, we are just tacking this in place. That was basically Kelsey and I's plan as we went along, and we tacked it all up so we could get it on the proper line in the footing. If I'm going to pause it there again, but if you notice, it's a black line the entire way across the Fastfoot here.
Cool.
There are two lines on the Fastfoot bag. One is for a conventional footing, and the other one is for the monopore. And you pull it to whichever line you need for whatever situation you're in. And in this case, that works for us. I believe it was 31 on the monopore line, and tacked it up, and then we went around and we installed the screw every 8 inches.
This is so cool because
Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed it out. The flexibility of their product allows for that monolithic pour so that you have basically added volume, capacity, surface area to this space here. And it's really wicked how simple it becomes. Like that's the joy of this what do you call it? Like a fiberglass mesh system that they have embedded in their product.
Yeah. It's really tough stuff. In fact, it's stronger than the ICF one, uh,
Amazing.
without a doubt.
Wow.
The Fastfoot bag, the polyethylene that holds that all together is just incredibly strong stuff.
Yeah, and it's so neat to see this because I've done the fast footing just for the footing, not have you done it here? And so I've done it traditionally where, you put some 2x4s and then you attach the bag and kind of create that U shape. And so to see this next step here of you, I would say improving the process of your foundation, your footings, and tying it all together, it's really clear how simple this process is. And you're talking about time savings. Like, yeah, there's a learning curve and there's some opportunities for growth with your entire team. But this is pretty slick, man. It really is.
It's not bad, and for us, and for anybody who lives in a rural location or a semi-remote location where they do not have pump trucks available on a regular basis, this
Ah,
is a
yes.
huge time money saver as well. And you know, I dare say on a very microscopic level, it reduces your carbon footprint.
Sure.
Every time
Yeah.
you have to mobilize, there is a cost to that. And if you can bring the pump truck to site once instead of twice, that's that's a win in my book. It's a win for the client, it's a win for you, and let's face it, folks, we do not have enough of us to go around. So if we can shave a quarter of a day off a project, it's a
Yeah.
win. If we can, any little savings in time we can find, we need to. And I think this has the potential to save a lot of people time and shave a few dollars off a project as well.
So
Besides the
then,
wonderful innovation of the Nudura there with the continuous insulation, the thermal mass of the concrete inside with the rebar, and then the internal insulation, there's a product from Fastform that's not shown in this video that I also think is quite incredible. It's called the Fast Tube. And many of us are
yeah.
used to these various cardboard things that are half destroyed by the time you get to the job site. And you could keep the diameters handy. I have used them. I think they're incredible. And you just use the two by fours as a vertical stiffener for alignment, and then it literally peels away from the concrete later. But I love the innovations. Uh, Aaron's out there in his bags in this video making a wonderful 442 square foot uh, structure that's going to be lasting well beyond the next generations. I love it, Aaron.
So top secret, Mark, and hopefully nobody's listening anymore. But this 440 cubic feet or square foot structure is the service corridor. There is a portion of this that essentially cantilevers out onto some fast tubes.
Ooh, okay.
So
Some foreshadowing.
maybe next video, we could show a little bit about some fast tubes, Mark. So great
Let the
foreshadowing
rest of
without
this
even trying.
let the rest of this play through, Aaron, and Sean will take us out. It's great to see the audience here today.
Yeah, just one last question, just because in Vancouver, our frost depth is only 18 inches, so we do a lot of blockouts at the bottom in our footing. Is your services going to go through the ICF, or do you actually just go underneath that footing once it's all poured?
So it depends.
Ooh, good one.
So the wastewater is going underneath the footing
Okay,
on this project, and the electrical service will be coming in, even though it will be below grade to the structure, it will be coming in above grade. That's the nature of this. It's going to
yeah,
go down, cross, up, and in.
got it.
And the well line, so essentially the fresh water, the clean water, will be
Yeah,
coming in not below the footing, but mid wall.
got it. Okay. Well, again, great details here on your monopore and ICF footing and foundation walls. And there we are, showing more details, high performance builds on Offsite Dirt. I'm Sean. You got Mark and Aaron. Have a great one. We'll see you next time on Offsite Dirt Network.